Clips. Alrighty, YouTube, another one of Kip's Clips. And I haven't sorted out the audio correctly. Boop. Anyway, I'm doing this live, but it isn't a clip or anything in particular. I'm starting to compile my notes for Esoteric Tours of Glasgow, and I thought I would do wee bits and bobs live if anybody's interested in the shit, because it's not and I'll show people the journey through my mind as I'm kind of looking at this crap and the amount of tangents and where the story meets and stuff, because to know the full story, you need to know the full story, and if you're interested in history, well, your pursuit has to be to learn all about history, and history's so big that no one man can actually fucking know it all, so you're working on all these wee small portions of a massive picture, and you can only do your best to take all these wee small portions and join them all up and whatnot. Anyway, I'm going to get a cup of tea and stuff and share this out and shit. And then get into Govan Parish Church, the ecclesiastical centre of the Kingdom of Strathclyde, and that's how it fits into history, and that's how it's inherently linked with Dumbarton Rock. That's how it's linked with the legend of King Arthur and Merlin and all that, for reals, not just fucking fairy stories, or linked to the fairy stories anyway, I should say. So that is what I shall be doing. So it's not going to be the most riveting alive shit, but it's just going to be a showing of what I do when I'm looking into shit. You know, people, I've been researching this. So you've been watching YouTube. You know what I mean? Anyway, I digress. Right, there we go. Seems to be working. And I've got a good connection. So, a cup of tea first of all. And then I'm going to get into Old Govan Parish Church. I mean, it's called, it's been rebranded recently, 2007, St Constantine's. Christianity was there for about the 6th century, but it didn't come into, it was at its height of power in the 9th and 10th century. Which, if you know your history, is quite telling, and we'll go into that. Anyway, that's better. So I'm starting to write up notes, talking points, and get my written record of stuff, talking points of the Govan Old Parish Church, which me, James and Blazing went to the other day. I recorded it all, my phone fucked up because you know, you get internal memory and your memory card, and they get full, and I think they started trying to record on both of them. Basically, the file was corrupt, so I had the whole fucking file, but nothing would play it, which was a bastard. But because it was cracking footage as well, man. There's a sarcophagus in there that goes back to St Constantine, which is like the genesis of which goes right back to the genesis of Christianity in this country. I mean, St Constantine was rumoured to have shit, right. Let me get this right. This is me trying to remember. St. Constantine knew or had a relationship with St. Columbus. St. Columbus was in Iona, the one that brought Christianity over to Scotland in the first place. And again, to try and learn the full picture, these are important talking points. So welcome everybody. It's not going to be like your normal kind of live stream or anything like that. The chat room's open for anybody that wants to chat. Afternoon, Charlotte. Vlad, how you doing? But I'm just going to be showing kind of the mental journeys I go through when I'm looking at this shit. So I thought, why not? Why not do live? So probably going to be plenty of reasons why not to do it live. But anyway, so you can start at that. But let's start at the Wikipedia page. Always a good place to start. Simplification. It gets you your building blocks, talking points, things of interest. Note that you feel worthy. Take that down and then expand on it from other sources. I don't know. Or expand on it with the knowledge that you already have from other sources about how Govan links into the Kingdom of Strathclyde and whatnot. The Kingdom of Strathclyde's alliances, who they were allied with prior and during the Viking raids and all that jazz. And then obviously, if you go, I say obviously to me, when you go to Govan Parish Church, you see they call them the Govan Stones, which is like Viking menches. I don't know if that's a Scottish term or a Glaswegian term. Menches, like a mensch is your mention, your menschie. It's like you graffiti something. But the Vikings, kings. Also, a very interesting thing about the Vikings, is it the Vikings or is it the Six Kings? I mean, is there a little code in the Vikings? Who are the Vikings? Where did they come from? And when they popped up and started raiding lands and all that, how did they know how to circumnavigate the globe? Did they pull that out their arse? I don't know. I watched a thing on History Channel called Vikings. That explained everything. Now, again, this allows me to give examples of where you can either sink or swim. You can be handed a TV show like The Vikings or The Lost King or what's the Robert the Bruce one? The Outlaw King. You can be handed all them on Netflix. These are based upon historic events. And you can watch that. And then you can walk away and go, I know what happened in history. Or you can go, oh, wow, man. And like, preferably for me, I get more out of watching those things after I've covered the history. You know, because, I don't know, for me what I've found is when you touch on those topics, you know a little about those topics, and then a TV show it presents those topics to you, you're like, oh, well, you're leaving that, oh, but you also, but for me, you also see the wee nod and a wink and a wee, and the TV show nudging you towards the legend or the reality of what's going on here, depending on what way you view it. Examples in God, I'm watching a couple of them now. What is it? The Vikings. What's the other one? The Last Kingdom. Not the Lost Kingdom. The Last Kingdom. Right. About the Vikings coming over to the British Isles. But in the original one, Vikings, which is about Ragnar and the first ever raids west, right? They're always going east, they knew the east, but they were the first ever raids west. And this is where you need to read between the lines. Or you don't need to do anything. This is where I read between the lines. If you go and look at that and the technology that Ragnar used to circumnavigate the globe, it was a very simple bit of technology. It was a fucking bit of wood floating in water. But when you understand astronomy, trigonometry, and the ability to circumnavigate the globe, that's all you need. It's your little compass. It tells you north. Here's me pretending I actually fully understand that. I understand the concept, and if I had a learned person teach me, I dare say I could get my head round it. I don't fully understand it and know the formula. I suppose that's the best way. And that's why the Vikings were initially able to start venturing west, because they get privy of the technology, how to circumnavigate the globe. Now, the Vikings obviously come from Sweden, Norway and Denmark. Well, again, this is where we'll take all sorts of turns and weird turns and all that, right? But they talk about the tribe of Dan and going back to the 12 tribes of Israel and stuff like that. I know, because it's before the baby Jesus and the earth was created in fucking 7 days and all that shit. This didn't happen. But there was a world before the baby Jesus, and there was a world before fucking that world, and there was probably a world before that world. And these worlds had lots of fucking knowledge, and it's been passed down. And if you want to see why this knowledge has been hidden and passed down using secretive groups, just look at the satanic panic on YouTube. Just look at the amount of, like, literal fucking mental midgets. Literal mental midgets. If you don't suck the baby Jesus' cock, you're a devil worshipper. And they literally think you're, like, of the devil or evil. Calling human beings evil. Because they want to worship, I don't know, King Dong. Fucking anything. So, unfortunately, we live in a world where pig ignorance fucking rules. Pea brains fucking roam everywhere. And people with brains understand that. And they don't want to get fucking... They don't want their life ended quickly just because they don't suck the baby Jesus' cock. Or subscribe to whatever fucking acceptable religion that's acceptable to the fucking idiocracy out there at the time. So, I don't know. I think if you think logically, I think if you look down history, you'll see why people do hide things. Because they don't feel what they're doing is wrong. They want to continue doing it, and other people feel it's fucking wrong. And they feel it's wrong to the extent they'll call you evil devil worshippers and come and fucking kill you. Even though all you're doing is using a fucking abacus. Or using measuring tools to measure the angles of the North Star, the sun, the moon, all that good stuff. So, this is what I mean by, like, see, a tangent and a tangent and a tangent and a tangent. This is what I mean by, like, sort of, trying to know the collective history and selective points. But anyway, God's tangent and a half. So, again, you can read that. It just says, dedicated Glasgow, also known as St Constantine since 2007. The congregation has become part of Govan and Lindhouse Parish. Govan Old Parish is no longer used for regular Sunday services, but the building remains open and it is used for occasional services, including midweek services. The dedication is to the St Constantine of Strathclyde, whose shrine in Govan is still in existence. The church is also home to the Govan Stones. The Govan Stones is the Govan Stones is the Viking stuff. Shit. The Viking stones, they don't know if they're burial mounds or mensches, you know, just I am here, you know, like pissing up a tree, but instead of pissing up a tree, you get some slave to fucking carve a big stone. They look like upside down boats, but then it looks like roof slates. I mean, they're real bizarre objects. There's not that many of them in the world. Govan has... In fact, let's read the Wikipedia before I embarrass myself trying to remember. Govan stones are early medieval carved stones displayed in the Govan Old Parish Church. The stones are thought to have been created and commemorated to the power and wealth of the rulers of the lost kingdom of Strathclyde. Lost? Really? And my argument is that isn't so much lost, still there. And not just the kingdom of Strathclyde, the people behind it. And again, I'll go back to the 12 tribes, and that's where I want to go with this. Let's see if I can get this. 45 stones that exist as late as the 1980s, however, many were destroyed when the neighbouring Harland and Wolf shipyard was demolished and the stones mistaken for debris. These just were lying about. Kids used to hang their washing and play on them and all that, man. Nobody understood the archaeological significance of them until recently when they started trying to preserve them. The remaining stones are a sarcophagus, 5 hog-back stones, and 31 recumbent gravestones. Now, the fact they're using sarcophaguses, that leads into this whole... it's the same bloodlines from the rulers of the pharaohs and stuff. The lines of this, for me, right, and this is just I'm no fucking expert. I am an enthusiastic amateur. I am no expert. I am no authority. I'm talking about the stuff I've came over and the knowledge I've came over in my journey as an enthusiastic amateur trying to investigate this stuff. Sarcophaguses are often like the first thing you think of is like pharaohs and all the Egyptian gods and stuff. They obviously have been used throughout the whole world at different points and by different peoples. And I wish, like, I'm saying that as if like I know them all and stuff, but I know they have been used by at different times, at different points by different peoples apparently. One thing you can definitely tell from a particular culture, and this is even true to today, is if you look throughout history, typically, not all the time, typically, they use the same ritual when it comes to burying. There isn't that many variants on it, or if that makes sense. Anyway, so the remaining stones are a sarcophagus with 5 hog-back stones and 31 recumbent gravestones. Each stone weighs half a ton and is carved with elaborate designs or carved crosses and cross shafts. Now, the sarcophagus here is rumoured to be of St. Constantine. Now, I don't think I'm going to go down this tangent just now. There's the baton if you want to do it for yourselves at any point. Do it. It ties in with the King Arthur legend. King Arthur and Merlin and all that good shit. Of the kind of lost history of medieval Britain. Or the not so well established history of medieval Britain. But anyway, I digress. A wee tangent if you want to go and do that. It's carved with elaborate designs and carved crosses and craft shafts. I'm going to get myself back there very, very soon, man. It isn't that far. I can do it in a cold day. And it's fucking amazing. You're standing there in front of a sarcophagus for the fucking 7th century, I believe it's been dated. Hopefully it'll tell us. The centrepiece of the collection is the sarcophagus, which is thought to commemorate St. Constantine, the son of Pictish King Kenneth MacAlpine. He was, I'm going into my own knowledge here to try and reference it to the Wikipedia, because the kingdom of Strathclyde typically wasn't the Picts. The Picts were like northeast. If my knowledge is correct, and it might not be, again, going back and reinvestigating and going over it again and again and again and again will allow all these things generally to trickle in and you get a more accurate portrayal. But right now I'm just thinking out loud. It features carvings of hunting scenes and warrior figures carved from solid stone. The sarcophagus is only one of its kind from pre-Norman northern Britain. Right? It's quite significant. It's the oldest fucking sarcophagus here in the UK. St. Constantine, King Arthur, the Lost Tribes. Govan is on the south side of the Clyde. It's the heart of Strathclyde. It was the ecclesiastical centre, that word I can't even say, centre of Strathclyde. That means it was the religious centre of Strathclyde. I'd say for obvious reasons. You had Dumbarton Rock down Dumbarton Rock down the way, preventing any raiding parties up the Clyde. That was like sort of the first line of defence. And then, like, if any invaders got by the Dumbarton Rock, So like, upriver was safer. So if you go upriver, lowlands as well, easy to build, kinder weather, all that good stuff that you get from the inlands and the lowlands as you come up the Clyde. So you can see. Also, as well, anybody with the knowledge, like the geographic knowledge of Britain at the time, and there were people with maps of Britain at this time, around this time, I would argue. I'm sure records indicate towards that. They would have been aware that Dumbarton Rock, Glasgow, was strategically very important in Britain with regards to navigating it. Between Glasgow and Edinburgh and the Forth and the Clyde, that is the narrowest part of Britain. So if you want to go from east to west or west to east without having to go all round the north, all round the south, Scotland, Edinburgh. Scotland, Stirling, Edinburgh. Right? Glasgow Castle, now Royal Infirmary. Stirling Castle, still there. Edinburgh Castle, still there. There's your 3 castles. You'll see that on Masonic shields everywhere. I'm not saying it represents those 3 castles, I'm just saying the 3 castles of the Central Belt, they were the ones that were to lock down the strategic route between east and west in Britain. And people back then with the knowledge of like we were on a globe and shit, and how to navigate and how to get from A to B and back again. They knew this stuff, and for traders, merchants, want to move their goods. And remember, for going from east to west, in Scotland was your fucking gateway to Ireland as well. So if you think about all those contributing factors, and you take yourself to way back when, you see how strategically important those 3 castles, Dumbarton Rock, were, and how that Govan would why Govan would have became the centre of Strathclyde. Like it would have been the kind of safest inland, lowland area within that sort of a 3 castle area. Anyway, I digress. It's just talking pish now. Right, so is there anything else I want to? Right, hold on. So Christianity came there. 6th of the century. The height of the church was in the 9th and 10th century. Right, that's me going into the stones actually. I'll go through the stones actually. I need to finish the church first and then go back to the stones. Again, this is more about me talking to myself than to use. Right, the remaining sarcophagus, hogback, crosses. The centrepiece of the collection comes from Calpine, the only one. History of the stones have been dated back to the 9th and 11th century. So they're dated back to that area of the world not too long. In and around the general period of the Crusades. So Christendom was trying to come together to fucking go and get Jerusalem, but Christendom wasn't as one. They had the fucking Vikings on the north, they had all... So before they could muster the armies of Europe and Christendom to go and batter the stinky Muslims and take Jerusalem back, because remember this was in the time period after the Muslims had invaded Christendom, and that the Rome didn't like that. The stinky Muslims coming and taking Spain and other sort of southern parts of the Mediterranean basin. Oh god, I'm going by mind here. I think the Moors invaded in the 7th century. I think. So the Moors invaded in the 7th century. So that was like sort of a nearly 400-500 years before Rome could before Christendom could get its shit together and go and kick the fucking Muslims' asses again. These people and these people, history shows that people with history shows that groups with missions and tasks to carry out or goals will plan long term, very long term to ultimately get what they want. Machiavellian, smart, very smart people who want to like conquer areas of the world and stuff. The stones have been dated back to between the 9th and 11th centuries. When the Vikings raided the Clyde region, the Vikings destroyed Dumbarton. I'm trying to go into I've done a lot of stuff on Dumbarton Rock before in the past. It's not fresh in my memory. I knew the Vikings had raided it. Dumbarton Rock. Oh man, like, how can I say this? Dumbarton and Dumbarton Rock is very significant in certain quarter of people, in certain groups' history. And it's important for reasons I don't even fully understand yet, but I'm edging towards it. And as I'm saying, I understand the importance of it, like being the gatekeeper for the Clyde. It's been sacked very few times. The Vikings were one of them that sacked it. I think that was even getting bombed again during World War II, if my memory serves me correct as well. But anyway, so the Vikings sacked Dumbarton at the mouth of the Clyde in 870. This fortress known as Alt-Clut. It's almost like alt-right cult, isn't it? The cult! At the mouth of the Clyde, the fortress known as Alt-Cult was the centre of the ancient kingdom of the Britons. Right? Now, again, semantics. It was semantics. This is where you get Dumbarton Rock and Govan and this sarcophagus of St Constantine being inherently linked with the legends of King Arthur, Merlin, and all that stuff that comes from the medievals, which I'm not completely ignorant on. There's very few things I'm completely ignorant on, but I still need to fucking improve. So much of my ignorances on that's untrue. So, but being aware of your ignorances isn't ignorant. It's smart. Ignoring your ignorances and just pretending, oh look, I'm an expert on curling hair. I'll just talk about this all day. It's not productive. It's not going to make you more rounded. It's going to just keep you in a box. Fucking Rain Man when it comes to pens, but no fuck all about pencil sharpeners. Anyway, the centre of the ancient kingdom of the Britons, with the king of Alt-Cut, Artgal, either killed or enslaved by the Vikings. Govan, further up the Clyde, gained great strategic importance as a new dynasty was established in the kingdom of Strathclyde. Govan Parish Church became an important ecclesiastical centre. My God, man. I really want to go back to school and learn how to speak. Centre for the new kingdom. The presence of the 5 hogback stones in Govan suggests the area was settled, or at least partly settled, by Vikings. These large sandstone blocks were found exclusively in areas of northern Britain where the Vikings settled and were used to make tombs, like the mighty buildings in the mighty buildings in the North style. Nowhere else are these hogback stones quite as large as the 5 in Govan. We had the biggest cojones, man! So, here you have well, basically you've got Viking burial or burial mounds, stones, or menches at the heart of the religious centre of the kingdom of Strathclyde. And the kingdom of Strathclyde came out of the kingdom of the Britons, which was King Arthur and Merlin and all that. So it underpins the idea that the British Kingdom of Strathclyde has some strong connections with the Scandinavian world. Really? I don't remember much about the bullshit my dad used to tell me. It was like, history, shut up. Turn on WWF. I want to watch fucking DJ Cat Show and WWF. Stop telling me about fucking history and shit. Right, so I was stupid, I should have started listening. But one thing my dad always used to hit home to me was the fact that we're Vikings. Or he wouldn't say, we're Vikings. He would talk about us as a people, are Vikings. And my dad, Glasgow, Proddy, Mason, Rangers fan, we are the people kind of shit. And that's... And this... My dad just didn't say that or make it up. That'd been passed down to him. That'd been something told to him. Knowledge passed on to him. Whether it's real or fake, who knows? But it'd been stuff that'd been passed on to him. The people that were passing it on thought it was genuine knowledge, not lying. So who knows? But it was one thing that he pointed towards, the genealogy of the Scots and its inherent linkage to the Vikings, and then look at the. Let me do this. This is why I wanted to do it live. It's just a million and one tangent, different things. Now I know I'm showing you stuff that I've shown a million and one people. I've shown people before. You know, this is the one I like. But it really allows me to hit home the point. Now, connections with the Scandinavian world, the text of the Declaration of Arbroath, and that's to the Most Holy Father, blah, 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 blah. They journeyed from Greater Cynthia by way of the Tricarian Sea. Now, just give you a quick idea. So, again, this is the area of the world that Robert the Bruce, the Declaration of Arbroath, 13... Fuck. That just gives you the text, doesn't it? Right, it's just the text. There must be a fucking wiki for it, aye. Let me see. 1320. I need to get that in my head. I knew it was the 14th century. I was thinking 1316 and all that. It fits in. Obviously, fits in with the Knights Templar getting kicked out of France. Getting kicked out of Christendom, I should be more accurate. But what it's saying here, Most Holy Father, we've known from the chronicles, right, and books of the ancients. What ancients? Who's ancients? He's not talking about the fucking Bible. He's talking about all chronicles. So he's writing to the Pope and saying, we know this shit. Now, this is the birthplace of Proddies, writing to the fucking ground zero of fucking Vatican fucking power, saying, we know who we are, we know the chronicles. The Pope ain't fucking denying what he's fucking claiming here. See, if you were going to declare something to the Pope way back then, do you think, I don't know. I think what Robert the Bruce was doing here was like, we know We can read, and we're fucking declaring it. Anyway, let me start turning my phone off. We know from the ancient chronicles and books of the ancients, we find among them other famous nations, our own, the Scots. Right? Really? What ancient chronicles are talking about Scotland? And it shows these chronicles, Robert, please. They journeyed from Great Scythia, right? Great Scythia was a region here, it was a region in Central Eurasia, in classical antiquity, occupied by the Eastern Iranian Scythians, passing Central Asia and parts of Eastern Europe, east of the Vistula River, with the eastern edges of the region vaguely defined by the Greeks. So, again, going way back to, like, not prehistory, because there's history of it, because they're saying that there's Robert the Bruce in the Ancient Chronicles. Love to give them a read. It's telling us where we're from. So, all this, like, fucking, there's, and fit this in to the tribes of Israel, the Canaanite tribes getting sent to the 12 corners, the four corners of the world, and for me, above a reasonable doubt, that's what Robert the Bruce was claiming here. And then when you go and look at the Lion of Judea that he uses, if you go and look at his lineage since Robert the Bruce beat the English using the Knights Templar, you had Robert the Bruce handing Longshanks ass to him using the warrior knowledge of the Knights Templar. And remember, who were the fiercest warriors of their time? The Vikings raided Britain. It was the Vikings. And what you'll see, by the declaration of Arbroath, these are the warrior people that Robert the Bruce is claiming to be from. And then, when you tie it into the tribes of Dan, or the Danes, and the Irish, and the 12 tribes coming here and stuff, and then go and look at the symbols they're flying, and what they mean and what they represent and where they claim, you can see, well, I don't know, for me, you can see where they're claiming to, who they're claiming to be, or trying to claim to be, or indicating they are. I might just be talking absolute piss now. Here, I don't know. This is what I'm seeing. The ancient Greeks gave the name Scythia, or Great Scythia, to all the lands northeast of Europe and northern coast of the Black Sea. Initially, nomadic people inhabited Scythia from at least the 11th century BC to the 2nd century AD. In the 7th century BC, the Scythians controlled large swathes of territory throughout Eurasia, from the Black Sea to Siberia, to the borders of China. Its location and extent varied over time, but is usually extended further to the west and significantly farther to the east than is indicated on the map. Some sources document that the Scythians were energetic but peaceful people. Not much known about them. Not much known about them, but for Robert the Bruce is claiming that's who we fucking are. Got it, okay. So they came from Scythia, they came through the sea in the Pillars of Hercules and dwelt for a long course of time in Spain. Among the most savage tribes, but nowhere could they be subdued by any race, however barbarous. So they dwelt in Spain. So Right, if you know your geography, the continents of Africa and Europe kind of meet before meeting the Atlantic. That's the Pillars of Hercules. And that would have been the exact region where the Moors invaded Europe. And the Moors would have invaded Europe. This was written in, 1320? I think the Moors invaded Europe about 600. So you're talking about 500-600 years beforehand. And here's Robert the Bruce claiming to be those people who dwelt in Spain for a while, amongst the most fucking craziest fucking tribes, even those fucking crazy muzzies, before the Moors invaded again. Now, let's say, for example, what I'm saying is along the right track. So these people would have been pissed off at the crazy Muslims coming to fucking over to southern Spain and kicking them out their fucking house. Fast forward to Robert the Bruce. Fast forward 200 years from Robert the Bruce. King James. King of Scotland, King of Britain, United Britain. Look at Robert the Bruce shield. The Lion of Judea. Look at what the purpose of the Crusades were. To repulse the stinky Muslims away from fucking Christendom. Fast forward to today. In fact, Lord Balfour, descendant of Robert the Bruce again. So you got Robert the Bruce, working with the Knights Templar, claiming to be for Great Cynthia, lost tribe of Israel, kicking the English king's ass, his cousin 200 years later becoming the king of the whole of Britain. So that was the 16th century. Then fast forward to the 20th century, you've got Robert the Bruce's descendant signing the Balfour Declaration, regaining control of Jerusalem from the stinky invading Muslims. Right? So, this is what I mean by this fucking Zionist, anti-Zionist shit. It's a load of pish. It's an absolute load of pish. It is not what this fight is about. They can't even tell you when the fucking fight started. This is a continuation of a struggle of shite for fucking thousands of years. And we're told it's because of something that happened fucking yesterday, a year ago, a month ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 100 years ago. No! It's a fucking continuation of this fucking battle of fucking elite douchebags who, I don't know, are they right or are they wrong in their assessment that fucking the majority of people are too stupid to fucking understand? I don't know. I wish I understood half this shit. But, anyway, so, thence they came 1200 years after the people of Israel crossed the Red Sea to their home in the west, where they still live today. I mean, it's there in black and white, folks. Robert the Bruce, his cousin, King James. Let me show you a King James Bible. I mean, this is all stuff you can go and find out. You know, you can confirm this stuff without watching YouTube. The King James Bible, and then further blood relatives of King James and Robert the Bruce, Lord Balfour, signing the Balfour Declaration, and yet again continuing the Crusades, the crusading knights' agendas of regaining control of that area of the world. But remember, it's the Jews! That's the Punch and Judy show to get you riled up. See the... It's the Palestinians, it's the Muslims, it's this, it's that, that's the way to do it. It's just a fucking... It's overcomplicated. This is my best guess, by the way. They feel it's overcomplicated to try and explain the complexities of what's going on in the world to the dumbed down masses because they won't understand it, so they simplify it to Punch and fucking Judy to try and steer you one way or the other. Are they right or wrong in their assessment of that? I mean, look at Tommy Robinson, fucking, look at the army Tommy Robinson can get up. Let's be perfectly honest, that's an army of fucking knuckle-dragging backward motherfuckers. They're not wrong. and that large sway of the population, I'd arguably is always there. I mean, whether it's a lack of education or whether everybody could fucking actually think for themselves if we were educated properly or not, who knows? That's not the world we stay in at the moment. And just look how unaware people are of so many things. Fucking flat earth and fucking Bigfoot, aliens, fucking tricks to try and keep you fucking occupied. Look how many people have lost their shit over fucking chemtrails. People are getting locked up, sectioned over 5G. Because there's like fucking a junky looking bastard for Australia who admittedly isn't a scientist, doesn't understand the science, but presents himself well. Presents himself as an authority, and he's convincing people to go batshit crazy over 5G. Anyway, so again, it's like, history's one big massive fucking tapestry. And it's fucking weaved for 1,000,001 different fucking threads. And you will never see, the tapestries, it's like the curvature of the earth. It's so fucking big, you'll probably never see it with your own eyes, unless you manage to get in a spaceship and shoot up there. The tapestry's so big, you'll never get the full picture. So we need to dip into each other's fucking feelings and all that. Anyway, conclusions and points of view and stuff. Now, this is what I want to talk about with, you heard, let me try and get back to this. Where was I? Alright, this fortress, known as Altkloop, was the centre of an ancient kingdom of Britons, right? That's, ancient kingdom of Britons. That's King Arthur and Merlin and all that shit, right? Who knew they were Scottish, eh? Who knew they were just doing the Clyde for me? Who knew you could go on my channel and go and look around that place? Live tours and all that I've done on it. Shit hot. Who knows you could actually just go there yourself at one day? You know? Instead of... Anyway. So, what happened to the Britons? What happened to the ancient kingdom of the Britons? Right? Because that used to be the centre of the ancient kingdom of the Britons, before it gets smashed and the kingdom of Strathclyde emerged. Let's go and look at the Declaration of Arbroath. The Britons, they first drove out. Right? Rule Britannia, Oh, hold on, we actually drove the fucking Brits out of here. Maybe we've just stole their fucking thing, and claimed we're Britons. The Picts, they utterly destroyed. And even though they often assailed by the Norwegians, the Danes and the English, they took possession of that home with many victories and untold efforts. As the historians of old time bear witness, they have held it free from all bondage ever since. So, go and do your timelines, go and find out who the Britons were, the Picts were, look at the ancient kingdoms when the Vikings were starting to explore, circumnavigate, invent, raid, and look how Britain was divvied up. Then when you're doing that, that's when you'll dip into the King Arthur stuff and the Britons and the King Arthur stuff. And there you'll like that is the reading between the lines of the told stories of history. Not just looking at one story, looking at all of them and seeing how they could interlock. Because a lot of us are very naive. A lot of us are very naive to sit and think and go, ooh, the UFO ancient technology to build the pyramids. No, we're just smart motherfuckers. We're just smart motherfuckers who, biologically speaking, haven't fucking evolved that much in thousands of years. And the same shit to control us that was happening to, the same systems of control, governance and all that was back thousands of years, seem to be working to this stage. And somehow, some way, maybe it's just genetics and all that, but there still seem to be people out there who don't even want to learn. That are incapable of it, like expanding their brains, or are incapable of thinking of like extra levels. You know, it's all very simple. Has to be right or wrong. It has to be black or white. It has to be good or bad. They're the good ones, they're the bad ones. You know, thinking it's just two tribes went to war. They could have been both fucking good tribes, you know what I mean? Can anybody think about this stuff? No, it's all black, white, Bible, fucking good, Satanist, devil worshipper. Simplification of fucking bullcrap. Anyway. Well, at least there is some people watching. See, if there wasn't, I couldn't give a shit. Oh, well, I could do lectures on this shit, I think. Just be finding morons that fucking want to turn up. In the kingdom, they've in their kingdom, they have reigned 113 kings of their own royal stock, the line unbroken, a single foreigner. So that's who Robert the Bruce is claiming he is. That's who he's claiming Scotland is. 200 years later, Robert the Bruce's cousin, who I'm imagining buys into Robert the Bruce's claims, becomes King of Britain, unites the kingdoms, Scotland and England. Then, in the early 20th century, not too long ago, again, their blood relative, Lord Balfour, signs the Balfour Declaration. So it's all pointing to Robert the Bruce claiming the Scots lineage for the tribes of Israel, lost tribes of Israel. And that would make perfect sense as to why his lineage is still pursuing, using through the British Empire, control or to regain control of that area of the world. So let's move on. The high qualities and deserts of these people, where they not otherwise manifest, gain glory enough from this, that the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, our Lord Jesus Christ, and his passion and resurrection call them, even though settled in the utmost parts of the earth, almost the first, his most holy faith. Lost in translation and my dyslexic fucking nut. Anyway. And then they start... Go and read it. It's a fascinating read. Fascinating read. And that ties directly in. Where was I? Oh no, I lost my train of thought now. Sure it was in the Govan Stones. Ah, you fucker. I fucked this up. Declaration of Arbroath. Great fear. A great fear. A great fear. Oh, I don't need that shit. Riverdale. God, man, where the fuck did that go? I don't don't need the Scythia anymore. Right, anyway, just fucking reopen it, eh? Makes the most sense. Because this is where I was. It underpins the idea that the British Kingdom of Strathclyde has some strong connections with the Scandinavian world. My feeling is that it's meant to represent a Lord's Hall or Chieftain's Hall. Stephen Driscoll, Professor of History, Archaeological of Glasgow University. And I would agree with him. You go there and you look at it, some say it's like an upside down boat, but those are definitely roof tiles. I mean, even I know what fucking roof tiles look like in the pattern you put on them. They look like fucking hobbit houses, these stones. Let me see if I'll show you a picture of them. In fact, you know what they are? They're alien. They're alien pods. Look at them, the alien pods. So you see how you can, like, you could possibly say they were like upside down boats, right? But if you look at the sort of a texture on there, it's the tiles. And they say it's like the Vikings had longhouses, I believe. So it could be possibly interpreted as a kind of like a Viking longhouse. Anyway. The sarcophagus was discovered in the graveyard in 1855 when a grave was being dug to the southeast of the church, recognising their significance and to protect the stones from the elements. They were moved from the surrounding graveyard and placed on display within the church itself in 1926. Until that point, the stones had laid undisturbed for over 1,000 years. Laying about 1,000 years, nobody giving a crap. The British Museum affirmed the importance of the collection when they have took one of the hogback stones to London. Bastards, give us it back, you cunts. When the fucking Stone of Destiny and their fucking hogback back, they're going to send William Wallace in your ass. As part of the exhibition Vikings, A Life and Legend, the Govan stones were voted Scotland's best hidden gem in a nationwide competition. And again, I'll bring you some shit for that live soon. Hopefully I'll get a mobile phone signal in the place. If not, I'll just record and give it out. So, now, people from Scotland, particularly Glasgow, maybe even Britain, will know Govan is kind of synonymous. It's kind of like, I don't know, how could you say this? It's like ground zero of Protestantism in Glasgow, for lack of a better way of explaining it. I mean, it's the home of Glasgow Rangers. It's where you get like the first Orange Lodge. I'm sure it was the first Orange Lodge that was in Glasgow and all that. The Red Star, what's it called? The Red Star, the Red Hand Lodge. Can't remember the name of it now. And I'm trying to point at the genealogy, the lineage of this stuff, and how the stuff that Robert the Bruce says, the Vikings, if you consider for 1 second that the Vikings, the Danes, were like the tribe of Dan, and then when you listen to Glaswegians who may be Masons like my dad talking about how we're Vikings, this is stuff that idea has been passed down from generation to generation. Anyway, creation of the site. It is believed that the earliest Christian origins of the Govan region emerged in the 6th century, but the Govan church rose to prominence in the 9th and 10th centuries. The local rulers of Strathclyde became allied with the English, Scots and Northumbrians to defend themselves from Viking raids. The central fortification, Dumbarton Rock, was attacked in 1890, resulting in the movement of the seat of power to Govan. This led to the establishment of the church site across the river from the royal estate at Partick. Oh wow, I never knew there was royal estates in Partick. Hold on, this is across the river from the royal estates at Partick. Wow. Royal estates in Partick. There is evidence of these royal associations in the graveyard, which is unusually large for the area and time period, and suggested that the site was created for many wealthy landowners because the site had been in continual use since the first establishment. It is impossible to tell what the original church looked like, but it's clear from a lack of change to the site of the graveyard that the burial ground always had Christian association. Can't remember seeing that carved cross. Govan Old Parish Church is an ornate Category A listing building of significant architectural merit, designed by Robert Rowan Anderson and influenced by the features of Pulscardian Abbey near Elgin. Govan has, however, known considerable socio-economic problems and has been severely affected by the decline of the shipbuilding industry. The current church building was constructed in 1888. That's the exact same year the city chambers was getting opened as well. 1888, with a big massive Masonic ceremony to open it. And it's strange because of the polarisation of this city. Even when you're talking about the history of it, pointing at the fact that it was one big massive fucking Masonic ceremony to open it, everybody's arsehole starts twitching when you start talking about that. Because it's almost as if you're good guy, wank. Is he a devil? Is he a... It's fucking history. You best fucking stand up, recognise this shit, acknowledge it, and fucking to understand what's going on. Honestly, the amount of times I've went and engaged with people, like even when I go around the tours of the city chambers and all that, I'm like, look, there's your 6 Lucifers and your 6 Lucifers. She's like, aye. I'm like, why don't you fucking incorporate that in your tour? Because it's the hidden. I don't know, but surely she's allowed to talk about it, man. Anyway, although the site was one of the oldest places of Christian worship in Scotland, it in continuous use since the 6th century, unusually the axis of the church was turned to orientate north-south rather than to the traditional east-west orientation, but this allowed the main door to face south to the main street. Upon construction, the congregation was closely associated with the Scoto-Catholic High Church movement within the Church of Scotland. Very interesting. I spoke to the people in there about that. Me, Blazing and James spoke to the people about that when we were there. And they were talking about how they were trying to get the Protestants and Catholics together way back when. Several former ministers have been actively involved in the Scottish Church Society. Notable former ministers include the Reverend George MacLeod, later the Lord MacLeod of Forenay, and Norman Shanks, leader of the Iona community from 1985 to 2002. And again, tangent, go and check out the history of Iona. What a fucking beautiful place, by the way. Been there, done that. And always bamboozles me, man. Like this was an epiphany I had when I first started fueling the fire of my madness through YouTube. There was a point when I was like, shit, I actually know more about the fucking political process in America than I do in the UK. It's like, fuck, I know more about the history of fucking America than I do Scotland or the UK or Europe. Something's not, and that was through the hypnosis of Alex Jones. But I recognised that, and then I went and fucking started looking at the history on my doorstep, researching all the shit on my own city. Charity starts at home, knowledge starts at home as well. You best know where you are and where you're from before you start trying to fucking say where other people are or from or fucking... Because you'll just make yourself look severely stupid in my eyes. Or anybody with a bit of intellect, you'll just look fucking stupid. And like, oh my god, you have no idea what you're talking about. You're just like, just a book of walking cliches and talking points from YouTube. And it like how, I would say about maybe 99 out of 100 talking heads on the YouTube, they're just a book of cliches, other people's sayings, and talking points. They get little to no understanding or they inject little to no new understanding, or even like different ways of looking or conceiving or considering things. Just they'll sit there with a big book of fucking quotes for intelligent people. See, reading intelligent people's quotes doesn't make you intelligent. An intelligent thing to do is to admit that you know you're not intelligent. Anyway, go and check out the history of Iona. That's St. Columbus. And then St. Columbus, Christopher Columbus, founder of America. Or was he? Anyway, and Christopher Columbus was Knights Templar as well, and he didn't find America. They had prior knowledge of it. The Vikings had been there and all that as well. So, there again you have the link between the Knights Templar, Scotland and the Vikings, and circumnavigating the globe in the 33. See how the 33 and the 33rd degree parallel north allow you to know where you are on the earth and circumnavigate? See how it's all interlinked, interwoven into one just big knowledge? Plop. Anyway. There we go. 2 of the church's windows were given by Robert. Anyway, Robert Malcolm Kerr. The EMAS window in 1891 and Christ Blessing the Children in 1902. Both were made by Heaton, Butler and Bain. The church's collection of early Christian carving stones is of international significance. 31 monuments survive, most of which are highly decorated. The most consistent of recumbent cross slab grave markers that date back from the 9th and 10th centuries. 21 cross slabs still remain and 16 are known but have been lost. I wonder who's sitting with one of those bad boys in our back garden. You know, somebody told me a story that one of the old priests or something, when we were there, got given one of them as a present. Oh, he's retiring! Give him one of those big Viking stones, and he had it. And I don't know if he still got it in his garden or whether he handed it back. Potentially buried somewhere in the graveyard. Rarer and more elaborate stones, including Viking hog-back tombstones, carved crosses, and a carved sarcophagus. That's the one that's got King Arthur in it. Govan sarcophagus. The Govan sarcophagus, a massive stone coffin with a carved exterior. And remember, the only one in Britain, at the heart of the kingdom of the Britons. That's fucking medieval King Arthur and Merlin and all that shit. And which then became the kingdom of Strathclyde, which was a bastardised kingdom between the old Scots, the old nobility of the Brits and the imported nobility of the Vikings. Or the imported nobility of the tribe of Dan. Is supposed to have been dedicated to the patron saint of the church, St. Constantine. There is much debate over which Constantine is the patron or whether it is Constantine of Strathclyde, but most scholars agree that the coffin most likely would have been dedicated to Constantine F. Kenneth. He had a few different names as well, or Donald F. Constantine, because of its highly decorated exterior. It is assumed that the coffin was meant to display the remains of the saint as a focal piece of the church. The coffin itself depicts iconography. Illuminati! Deep state! Don't watch! If you watch the Super Bowl, you'll turn into goblins and gremlins. Right, there's an example of gaslighting when all it is fucking telling stories with pictures. You know what the Egyptians done in their tombs and all that? But no, it's spells and goblins and demons and butt munchers, and that's the toilet. That's the level of this is about the level of toilet intellect that most cunts on YouTube will take you. Typically depicts iconography, typically of the region, and illustrates Pictish and Norse-influenced themes. The front of the sarcophagus shows a hunting scene of a horseman chasing 2 stags, which was commonly used in Pictish art to convey an association with royalty and power. It also shows an animals trampling on other animals, and 2 panels of double ribbon interlace. The back of the sarcophagus has 2 more sets of animals trampling on animals, as well as a panel of 2 long-necked animals with their necks intertwined, which is another typical scene pickish design. The rest of the space on the coffin is filled with panels of interlace, some of which are made to represent snakes, which is a common Nordic iconography. Right. Snakes! Snake! Snake! Snakes on a plane! Anyway, let's see if I can go and find... This is what I mean by researching iconography, but the iconography also goes in with the biblical stuff, which also goes in with the historical stuff, and it also goes in with reading behind the fucking line stuff. It's all interwoven tapestry of called using your fucking nut. It's a science. It's a Scottish science, millennial old. It's got its own name. It's called use your fucking nut. It's like our ancient fucking martial art. It's called fuck you! Not kung fu, it's called fuck you! Thanks, Mike Myers. The letter, hold on. Let me see if I can just get in here. And what you'll see again, the tribe of Dan and all that, it has the serpent in it when you look at the biblical references within Genesis. And you can, and a lot of the iconography comes, well, my belief is the iconography spoke about in the Bible is encoded knowledge passed down from previous knowledge sources. Now, the iconography that the religious sources use referring to the Bible, again, it's the layer of meanings. You may get one meaning, but there's about 20 million meanings anyway. So, with the tribe of Dan, you'll see a snake, a viper biting a snake, and a lion. Common animals used in iconography. Due to there's eagle, which the seal Joseph mentions is revealing because the tribe emblem, or I'm trying to find my misloose about this house, or insignia, see number 22, of the people of Dan included an image of a snake. The Jewish Encyclopedia, the symbol is derived from what Jacob had foretold. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder by the path. Thus, the emblem traditionally associated with Dan is an adder biting biting horse heels. However, Abin Ezra, a learned Jewish scholar of the 1600s, said that the emblem of Dan was an eagle with a dragon in its claws. Right? A dragon and an eagle. Right? Look at what's on the Welsh flag. Look what Scottish Rite Freemasonry fly. And Robert the Bruce flies the Lion of Judea. So this letter is 4 square and the seal is an eagle with a dragon, snake or serpent in its claws. Hopefully this is actually making sense. I don't know. Where did I want to go? Where was I? Today the coffin is on display in the modern Govan Parish Church Museum. These tombstones are of particular importance to any future tourism development and hold great potential. and let's just tell you about his denomination and stuff. Right, so there's a wee bit about the Govan Parish Church. So that's let me just do this. Let me do this before I make a fool of myself. Aye, I'm okay. I need to check the meaning of this before I fucking made a tit of myself. So, this is why when I say I want to do esoteric tours of Glasgow, it's from an enthusiastic amateur, not a historian or an expert. And I want to get people to add on to what I'm saying, and I want people to add on to what I'm thinking, and for me add on to what people are thinking, and then for that thinking to come together and hopefully unblur some of the edges and stuff, you know, and for me to bring the strands of the tapestry that I've got and compare them to the strands of the tapestry that other people have got. And like, it's beyond a reasonable doubt for me that all these symbols and signs that I'm reading are there. Now the job is to decipher them as to their meanings and ultimately the knowledge that they'll lead you to. It's like breadcrumbs. That's what they're there for, right? And unfortunately, there's people that don't want you following that trail of breadcrumbs. So they'll come along and between the genuine bits of breadcrumbs, they'll throw in a poisoned bit of breadcrumb. And you'll eat that bit of poisoned breadcrumb and then you'll get, Illuminati, deep state, and that's where your journey will stop. Instead of you keep going to the real breadcrumbs from the real, and again, go to the sources. If people aren't hiding who are doing this shit, go to the sources and they'll tell you. Go to the places. Look at the architecture with your own eyes. Confirm the shit you read on the fucking loon tube to what you see in the real life. And I think it'll open your eyes to a lot. I don't know, it'll make you realise that this life isn't a fucking pile of shite. It's one big adventure, man. Stick your fucking Indiana Jones fucking hat on, get your whip, man, and go out and fucking participate in that shit. Honestly, we can all be, if you want to be Indiana Jones, you can. It's a matter of fucking sparking your interest in learning how to learn things. Or learning how to genuinely investigate things without fucking turning into a fucking YouTube retard. Or without getting stuck in the conspiratard world. So, aye, there we go. So that, and do you know what's weird? Logistically, Old Govan Parish Church probably won't be on the esoteric tours of Glasgow. But I have to get it in there. Right now, right, the City Chambers is one, Glasgow Necropolis and Cathedral, Glasgow Green, Trade Hall and Old Sheriff Court, and Govan Parish Church. I need to get the co-op building on that as well, and the amount of places that I'll be putting on it, I'll be adding and stuff. But fuck knows where this will go, man. Like, if there's people want to go and do tours of the locations at different points, I'm going to go into the City Chambers and speak to the lassie that does the tours in there, see if I can work with her. She knows who I am, we're best pals. No, she just fucking had a... Because I went in there once, tuned to the moon, filmed it all and put it up on YouTube. She wasn't too happy that her face ended up on YouTube. You know, and I didn't do it to annoy her or like, oh, I'm going to make a fool of this woman, put it on YouTube. I didn't make a fool of her or say anything bad about her at all. It's just me filming and saying my own stuff and all that. I should have been a wee bit more sympathetic and not, and maybe tried not to get her face on the camera and stuff. But hey ho, it was fucking... Hindsight is a great thing, isn't it? Shit, I forgot what I was going to do there then. Answers in the chat room if you can remember what I was going to do there. Right, do you know what I'll do? I'll watch it. Seeing my own stuff and all that. I should have been a wee bit more sympathetic. She wasn't too. Huh? Oh, I remember now. Hindsight is it? That is a crazy thing to be able to do that. It's like Spaceballs, if anybody remembers that movie. Be able to go and watch yourself live, record back, and remember what you were going to say. I want to work. I want to go in the city chambers and say that I'm going to be doing esoteric tours of Glasgow and I'll be bringing folk in. I'll shut the fuck up when we're in that place, you know, and she'll do the tour, but they obviously put things to point to. But the inside of that fucking place is just singing the symbolism of fucking everything, man. You've got the octagonal room, you got the black and white marble fucking staircases, you get the 66, you get 6 Lucifers one side, 6 Lucifers the other side, and the Statue of Liberty. All in one fucking building. Opened by the Masons in 1888. A big massive Masonic ceremony. But that wasn't anything bizarre at the time. Every building, everywhere was built by the Masons. It wasn't anything weird or bizarre. Back then, it was the way things were. Only now, with the programming that we've got now, that we go, the Masons opened that? Oh, there must be some Illuminati cunt. No, the cunts wanted a big, massive, cool building built, and they went to the people who were capable of building a big, fucking, massive building. And in the process of done that, they stuck all their symbolism and gang signs in the building. Nothing fucking mystical about that. Makes fucking perfect logical sense to me. But hey ho. So, what was I going to show you there? Somebody's stole my idea. Tongue in cheek. But obviously you need to do a wee bit of market research and shit, you know, you can't just start fucking give me that windy. You can't just start licking windies and then go and try and start a business, you know what I mean? You actually got to engage your fucking brain. But hey ho, I'm crazy. So you do get walking tours of Glasgow, but they're going to be doing all the known official, they're not going to be using the wee bit of, here's the history, they won't tell you, here's the symbolism, you won't see, they won't take you in, well I don't know, maybe they do, they won't take you into Glasgow Cathedral, show you all the Hebrew writing on it, they won't show you the Knights Templar sarcophagus with the wee, it's like a step pyramid, right? Which I now know, like, you go down to Mother Lodge, the gable end of the Mother Lodge, it's not a triangle, it's a step pyramid. And to me, like, I don't know what the symbol means, but I know it's a Knights Templar symbol. I see it getting, all the buildings I see it on are all associated with that fraternity. The sarcophagus and the fucking Glasgow Cathedral, which is built out of solid granite, if my memory serves me correct. You don't get it's like getting buried in fucking solid gold, right? Because this granite doesn't come from the guy, the guy in the place, the father, whatever his fucking name is. He's a lovely guy, man. I spent hours chatting to him. He knew his shit, man. Again, pig and shit. 2 fucking cunts speaking about history of our city, man. And there's also he's an older guy, right? So language varies, like especially with me. But he was showing me about all the engravings and all that. We're talking about the showing me the sarcophagus of the Knights Templar. He was talking about the Knights Templar, and he was like, "Come and I'll show you some engravings over here." And I went, "If you look here, what you find is engravings of an alligator and a Negro." You know, to me, it was just like an older guy trying to be PC, if that made sense. You know what I mean? I'd have just said a black dude, right? But each to their own. He wasn't being racist, it was just a funny use of language because he was overtly trying to not be racist and use PC stuff, and his PC stuff reverted to Negro. Right? Because, Glasgow Cathedral, 12th century. 11 something that was built. Or the initial building was built. I'm sure it's St Mungo, isn't it? That is built for you. It is. Built before the Reformation, from the late 12th century onwards. So it was built in the 11th century. Church of Scotland, since we fucking kicked the fucking thing in zoot. Glasgow Cathedral, the only last standing and complete standing cathedral in the mainland of Scotland. The rest of them, the proddies smashed them all to shreds. See when the Reformation people rocked up to smash Glasgow Cathedral up, the merchants of Glasgow, this is the way the creator told me, surrounded the cathedral to make sure that they couldn't smash it up. So it's a cathedral, it's a Catholic cathedral, but it's under the Church of Scotland. And that's why, you know, I started looking into this the other day. To be a city, you need a cathedral, technically speaking. Glasgow has two. I don't know if we're the only city in the world that has two cathedrals. I don't know, I need to check, I want to check. We've got St Andrew's Cathedral, which is the Catholic one down the Clyde side, and we've got, obviously, Glasgow Cathedral. Don't know what I was talking about there. Oh, aye, just these walking tours. So, they're doing walking tours of Glasgow. My sister says she's seen them doing it and stuff. I want to do something slightly different. Is this just a walking tour of Glasgow? I want to do esoteric tours of Glasgow. Anyway, I don't want to. I'm going to be doing esoteric tours of Glasgow. It's a matter of when and the what's and the whatnot. From only £10 per adult. Right, so be doing the fucking business plan, be doing the numbers and all that. It's doable. It's achievable. Not only that, once everything's in place and I'm doing it, I ain't doing fuck all. I'm just walking about with fucking people talking about fucking shit I love. Everyone's a winner, baby. That's for sure. So it's the yin and the yang, the hard work of getting up and fucking doing the whole process and the fucking business plan, all that shit. The yang. I won't be working. I'll just be walking about, talking about shit that I love. And even better than that, I'll be talking about the stuff I love consistently to the degree that it'll keep fucking seeping into my nut. And my knowledge is only going to get bigger. And I'm going to be consistently into the cathedral. Again, speaking to the creators and stuff, picking up more knowledge. I was talking about the Negro face and the alligator and the carvings. Glasgow Cathedral, the reason he was telling me about that is back in the day when it was built, the only people that had seen Negro faces or alligators were the Knights Templar, who were crusading and going into Northern Africa and Egypt and stuff. They were the only people that would have been in Glasgow that had seen a Negro face. I'm even fucking a black dude's face. I feel uncomfortable saying Negro, I don't know why. It's my programming. They see a black guy's face or a crocodile or the other weird carvings and the Hebrew poem and all that that's there. So oh, brilliant. So, that's what's put a spring in my step. So it's re-energised my batteries. The door of fucking... Alright, Blazing, how you doing, my man? One door shuts and another one opens. Anyway, that's 2:30. I'm going to go and sit in a hot tub for a wee bit and chill the fuck out. But, that's... See, like, there's... How long have I been doing this? How long's that been? Fuck's sake, I've been over an hour. Wow. Hour and a half past like that. I feel it's been 5 minutes. 5 minutes, I feel. See if that's what my working day's going to be like when I'm doing this shit. I'm on to a winner. On to a winner. So, there is no esoteric occult tours of Glasgow. There's walking tours. But I'm going to do something different. Space in the market for all of us, I'm sure. And means are obviously going to be fucking better, of course. So in the afternoon one and all, I'm going to do the off. But there's again a wee journey through an inquisitive mind, and how if you feed your genuine curiosity about these things, and don't stick to any pre-trodden path. Trod your own one. If you find your own path instead of paths that other people have used, you'll find things that other people haven't. You'll find new discoveries and bring them to the table. Like, if I'm sitting in a hot tub with a mason and blowing him away with the fucking stuff about Glasgow Green, and it's a feather in your fucking cap. And anyway, I won't go on about that too much, man, but everybody will be thinking I've joined the Illuminati. Hold on, where's my... What time is it? Look, this is my Illuminati commemorative watch. And, it's Illuminati o'clock. Time for me to go. And you do have to... only Illuminati members do get an Illuminati commemorative watch. So you really need to be deep in the street of the Illuminati to get your commemorative watch. Or your Buddhist prayer wheel. Oh, mani, mani, pad me home. Oh, mani, mani, pad me home. Sorry, I'm just trying to gaslight fucking idiots. I'm sorry. Sorry. Shouldn't be poking idiots with a fucking gaslighting stick. But at least I'm admitting it. Don't get gaslighted with bullshit. The knowledge is there if you want to go and fucking find it, man. And here, finding the knowledge is better than cowering in fucking fear from it. Look at the general principles of the Reformation, right? One wanted to rule with science and knowledge. One wanted to rule you with fear and fairy stories. What one do you choose? Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Oh, fuck's sake. You dying, blazing? You get the cold? Oh, fucking hell. Mate, you need to lay off the fucking smoking. Sorry to sound like you're ma again, man, but... You know what, buddy? Time to do it. Stop fucking smoking. Anyway, catch yous after. Thumbs up, share it on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, all the good stuff. Leave all your comments, good, bad, ugly, and indifferent. I'll read and respond to as many as I can. Remember what I'm doing here, it's digital busking. Everything's available and accessible free of charge. I hope to do such a good job that people will find value in what I do. And if you find value, consider using your spare change, not your life savings, on the Patreon and PayPal buttons down below. Value for value. If you get value from it, you tell me how much value you get from the shit I do. Well, it's not enough for me to do it full time, but it's enough to know that I'm on to something and to get me out there and do my esoteric tours of Glasgow. Spring in my step. How do you motivate yourself today? Well, brains, I'm going to go and take over the world. Alright, YouTube, thanks for listening. Catchies! Cips! Oh, my ear lungs!